Hey guys, Nicole here. I'm getting ready to cook dinner and go to work here in a few minutes, but I wanted to jump on real fast and do a quick video. I had a couple of people ask me yesterday on Messenger after they saw my story about the Costco run, if there's, other than the meat and cheese and the obvious eggs, if there's certain keto things that I swear by or like. Yes. And it would just be easier to do it this way. And I probably did not include everything. There's some stuff that is a luxury for keto, and there's some stuff that's necessary. But I just brought out a few of them of the things that we have. So let me show you what I got here. Hang on one second. Let me turn the camera around. Okay, here's a few of the things that I think that make life easy and, I don't know, almost make it like you're not doing keto. Some stuff is an investment, it does cost. Some of the stuff is cheaper. Some of the stuff, it doesn't really even matter if you buy that keto version or not. So, and again, remember, I guess what you would call dirty keto. I'm not strict as far as, I do keto, but I don't do, no soy, no sucralose, no stevia, just, there's things that I do that they may say is not the cleanest ingredients for keto. I do sugar-free if I like it. If it's got sucralose in it, then I use it. So let me show you what I have here. So these things I invest in every month. I have my MCT oil powder, vanilla and chocolate collagen. Chocolate's my favorite. And then I have another chocolate collagen, and I have probably two more in the back. These are my two favorite. I love Perfect Keto items, and I love the Preferred Elements Keto. They're both equally good. I just go back and forth between the two. The MCT oil powder gives you a lot of energy if you put that in your coffee. That's what I do with my collagen. I take it every single day, 1 scoop in my coffee every day. I usually use the chocolate, but once in a while I'll switch it up and use the vanilla. But the vanilla I use for more baking. Then I have your sweeteners. I have Keto Classic, which is like granulated sugar. I have their powdered sugar. And these are all sweetened with erythritol. So there's 30 grams of carbs, 30 sugar alcohols. Subtract, you have 0 carbs. So that's what I use. And I'm not a huge sweets person, but I do like them now and again. And so I have that for that reason. I also have, let me reach over and grab it, Swerve brown sugar. Okay, so and this is, it is just a personal preference. Swerve sells granulated. Swerve sells powdered sugar. I prefer the Swerve brown sugar, but I prefer the Keto white sugars. So I feel like there's a less cooling effect from the erythritol in the Keto. That's just me. There's a cooling effect when you eat erythritol. So that's what I buy. Swerve brown sugar, Keto white sugars. They're of course sugar-free, no carbs. I get my Keto, they sell it at Costco, and they sell it at Walmart, they sell it at Sprouts. My Swerve, I think they're starting to sell it at H-E-B, but I ordered it off Amazon. Okay, so then I have my Vital Wheat Gluten. I use this to make any of my keto breads. So, this for a 1/4 cup has 4 grams of carbs. You don't use much. I'm going to have to make your recipe to show you when you make it the total carbs. But I use that for my breads, as well as psyllium husk. I use that for my breads and other recipes. I have xanthan gum. That's my thickening agent. 0 carb, net carbs on that. And then I have cacao nibs. These give you, they're not sweetened. They give you, there's 1 gram of carbs for 2 tablespoons net carbs. And I don't use that much. Like if you're doing a mug cake or a keto mug cake or a keto brownie or anything like that, or if you do yogurts, this is really good to sprinkle in. It gives you a chocolate flavor without the sugar, and it's really, really crunchy. I don't use them that often. I probably have this container, which is almost completely full, for about a year. So, and then I use my Himalayan pink salt for electrolytes. It helps with your electrolytes. And then I always have flaxseed, chia seed, oat fiber, and cocoa powder. cocoa powder with no sugar is allowed on keto. So I use that for like brownies or if you want anything chocolatey, and I don't use my collagen. The oat fiber is a good way. I don't have the packaging for it, but it's a 0 carb way to, you could put it in your chaffles to make breads, rolls, that kind of thing. The chia seeds I use in my oatmeal. The flaxseed I use in a ton of things. I use it in breads. I use it in oatmeals. I use it in keto oatmeals again. I use it in a lot of stuff. It's really good. And then always have cooking spray on hand. Oils I have here, just to show you, I have 600 more in the back, but I have roasted garlic olive oil. My coconut oil in the back. I have avocado oil, almond oil, all kinds of things in the back. And when I say in the back, I mean in my pantry. Almond flour, coconut flour. I use almond flour more than coconut flour, but I keep both on hand. Alternative Sweets is my little barbecue sauce that I use if I want some. And I order that online as well. And like here, I'm just showing you I have pine nuts, but I have pecans, walnuts, and peanuts in my freezer. And I use those because nuts are really good, and they can make I have a good granola that I use for that. Sour cream, no sugar added ketchups. Okay, here I'm showing you apple cider vinegar. If you can, well, you can't see the tag. That's apple cider vinegar, and then I have roasted garlic red wine vinegar. I have white wine vinegar. I have white vinegar. I have all kinds of vinegar. I use vinegar a lot. I like things acidic, so when I make salad dressings, I use them to cook with. So I have a lot of vinegars in the back. Okay, these are not the cleanest ingredients, but they are the two that I like when I want something sweet. So I have chocolate and they're caramel. It's made with sucralose. There's 0 calories, 0 carbs and everything in it, but it is not a clean ingredient. There you go. It's got all the stuff that you're probably not supposed to have. But when I need a fix, there you go. And you can tell I like caramel better than chocolate. Number 1, love hot sauce. Always have it in the house. Hemp hearts, again, I use that for most of the time. I am using this for my oatmeal, my keto oatmeal. Here is my honey alternative. I use it sucre and syrup. I order this online on Amazon, and it's just a thick syrup I use as in place of honey. Almond butter. Oh no, that's not almond butter. That's my peanut butter. Sorry, I thought I brought out the almond butter, but it's still, this is keto. I use my sambal. That's my, I mix this with my homemade ranch to make a dip, or with mayo. There's our sugar-free heavy cream, 0 carbs if you need something sweet. Here's another thing to make desserts with. It's 0 carbs, and you can use it to thicken up if you want to make a cheesecake or a pudding of some sort that's keto. Keep that on hand. I don't use it often, but it's there. Here's the keto chocolates. There is Lily's I like, and I have, oh, these are not keto. Never mind. Ignore that. That was one for my family. But the Lily's I have, and then I also have, and I don't have it out. Let me go grab it really fast. Okay, I must have left them in the back. So I brought them out. This is the Bake Believe. I have dark chocolate, white chocolate, and I have milk chocolate in the back, and semi-sweet chocolates. They are, so that's 4 grams of net carbs per tablespoon. So that sounds like a lot. Yes, it does. The Lily's, how much is that? 3 for 2 tablespoons. 3 net carbs for 2 tablespoons. So yeah, that does sound like a lot, but just don't use a lot. And when you need a chocolate fix, or when you need something sweet, if you have the carbs to give, just make you a sweet treat out of those. And literally, the chips are mini. They're small. So you can, you don't need many. And plus, if you're dividing it between a whole recipe. These I haven't tried yet. I made homemade marshmallows out of gelatin before. Because we did s'mores, and I used bacon. I made like a bacon cracker and used that and put my marshmallow on it with these chocolate chips and made me a s'more. But the gelatin homemade marshmallows disintegrate when you roast them. So somebody had told me about these, so I bought these to try. I haven't tried them yet. They are, I think it's a net carb per marshmallow. So I got these like 2 weeks ago, just haven't tried them yet. So we'll see how that goes. And then I have yeast. I have nutritional yeast, which we use like a Parmesan. And then I have regular yeast, which I'll add once in a while to like chaffle mix or whatever, and it makes it more bready tasting. Okay. And then I have mayo always in the house. better to make your homemade, but I just don't do that. I have liquid aminos. That's a soy sauce substitute. 0 carbs, no sugar. Does have soy. Some people don't do soy. So I use that for a lot of things. And then I use the Equip Prime Protein. That's a grass-fed beef isolate powder. It's basically a protein powder. It is extremely, this one is really good ingredients. There you go. It's grass-fed protein, cocoa powder, and stevia. And it's how many carbs? Less than 1 carb per scoop. So sometimes when you need a little extra protein, you can make this, and it's really clean, healthy. You add some of your almond butter to it, and it's a really good shake. So there's some of the things that I always have on hand. So if you came over and were like, Nicole, whip me up a batch of brownies, I could do it. Nicole, whip me up some keto bread, I could do it. I always have this stuff on hand. Some of it I keep in the freezer. Some of it, like I just went and bought more Lakanto because I use that for my whole family, for the sugar. The vinegar we use for the whole family. But like when I make, I don't know, so if I'm going to make them brownies, I may make them regular brownies versus keto brownies. So I won't go through my almond flour for them as much, you know, that kind of thing. But I'm gonna bake, but it's not that I bake often. I bake the bread more than anything because I like regular food versus sweets. But, you know, if you want some sweets, you have ways to do it. There's lots of good recipes. All right, so I hope that helped and answered a couple of the questions that we had. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm sure there's more that I forgot to show you, but there you go. There's some of the staples. Have a good night. All right, before I leave, quick, I'm going to make a drink. Obviously, I can't drink because I have to go to work, but I'm going to make Cruz one of his favorites, which is his Moscow Mule. It is not the original recipe. It's one that we've altered to fit keto. So what I'm going to do is we have his cup of ice. I have the lemon elderflower syrup. It's the skinny syrup. It is 0 carbs, 0 fat, 0 calories, made with sucralose. So if you don't like sucralose. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon in his cup with his preference, which is vodka. A shot of vodka. Again, I'm just eyeballing it. Then we found this at our liquor store. It's ginger beer. So it's diet. So top it off with that. And then, don't eat a lot. There's some fruits that are good on keto that you can have. Just, you have to watch how much you have. So Cruz is not strict keto, but he does try to eat some keto, lower carb stuff. So I'm going to skewer some blueberries for him. Put it in his ginger beer, stir it around. There you go. There's his keto Moscow Mule. Okay, I have to go to work, but a taste won't hurt. Have a good night.